Yeah, I do think that it will encourage some accountability in us as adults, and the way that we communicate um, um, and reconnect with our youth. Because I believe that there had been, a communication gap. You know what I mean? And sometimes the logic or the thinking or the emotional state, you know what I mean, like, is represented, in the music of that generation. You know what I mean? And so there's a lot of, drug reference. You know what I mean? There's violence, there's drugs, there's promiscuity, there's all of those things that are always equated to youth and angst, and and that irresponsible stage in your growth and development, of where you're supposed to encounter those things, and it's how you filter and navigate through them is what will make or break you. But when you deal with the drug references, then you have to understand that it is a matter of, the pain is still there, but it's a matter of, drugs are a coping mechanism. I mean, like, so if you think about it, it's like, it's the sedation that they speak of and that they celebrate, that implies that there's pain underneath. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, to see them harnessed or have that emotion, what's the word? Infringed, like, upon them with the eyewitness account of a heinous act. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even mistaken. It's not debatable. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it's clear case of, premeditated and cold-blooded murder. You know what I'm saying? And when the victims are made to be that random, you know what I mean? Like, or if you can account and assess for yourself, what resistance or what conflict, and to what degree transpired, that would have, caused a questionable act of enforcement. You know what I mean? When you see that there was none of that, and he still lost his life, then that danger applies to everyone. You know what I mean? And I'm seeing so many people being much more vocal, much more active and involved. And, it is amazing to see the life of a slain individual create so much dialogue and conversation. I've seen, here in Atlanta, legislation move and laws be passed. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a matter of days and weeks, and what I mean? Like, and so it's almost like, all anybody needed to see was, another clear-cut example of the vicious cycle of brutality, racism, classism, like separatism, supremacy, and just pure hatred. You know what I mean? And so if we can overcome those ills of society, with action, we can't be idle and we can't be dismissive. You know what I mean? Like, we have to do the diligence and get our hands dirty, get in the mud, get in the fight, you know what I mean? Like, and put your back into it. You know what I'm saying? Use some muscle and use some hustle. You know what I'm saying? So to see everybody coming out in these numbers, it made me very proud because, me coming from, a group like Glee Mob 25 years ago, when we spoke, so openly and outright about issues, societal ills, social conscience, and all of those reoccurring themes, at this point, 25 years later, it's almost as if I'm a decorated soldier. You know what I mean? Like, a high-ranking officer and elder statesman. Like, I'm a general. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, and so there's a part of me that still wants to get out, like, in the field, you know what I mean? But it's nice to see and to know, because our namesake has been cross-referenced with a lot of the things that we spoke about from that time, and people are kind of being reminded and reintroduced, you know what I mean, of, the way we addressed it. And, it feels bittersweet because I wish we could have all listened collectively and learned, at an earlier point, and took an even greater initiative to heal. But you can't heal what you don't reveal. So at first we have to endure what is the undisputed truth. We have to deal with the truth. We have to discuss it, dissect it. You know what I mean? And I'm just glad that people are now realizing, that that there's still hope. Within themselves. And I was happy to see that that people not allowing fear to set in and fear to immobilize them. You know what I mean? But everybody was brave in the face of the adversity. You know what I mean? And I felt right there with them. You know what I mean? Absolutely. We have to talk through it and trust the process. Keep the faith, and always be optimistic about going forward, and that's not all you can do. That's everything that you can do. You know what I mean? So let's not minimalize. That narrative. That's a big conversation to have. There's a lot of work, a lot of man hours it's going to take. You know what I mean? Man and woman hours, if you will. So yeah, it's a labor of love though. We in it, man, for we in it for life. You know what I mean? You got to commit to life. You know what I mean? Because life is the gift that keeps on giving. So we have to fight for better lives for those that come up after us. You know what I mean? And that goes from eco education and everything. You know what I mean? You feel me? Like recycling. You know what I mean? Just waste, gluttony, excess. You know what I mean? Like obesity. You know what I mean? Like all of these different things, man. We have to use this as an opportunity for self-improvement. You know what I mean? Like self-refinement and being each other's accountability partners. There's a way that we can discuss different approaches that we could take, different alternatives that we could take, without being judgmental towards someone. You can critique someone constructively. You know what I mean? Like as long as that individual can receive it as such,